Listen, before you take another step, I need you to hear me clearly. I am standing beside you in this very moment. I've watched you try to be strong on the outside while battles rage inside your mind. I've seen you hold back tears because you didn't want anyone to worry. I've seen you keep your pain quiet because you thought no one would understand. But I understand. I've been walking with you through every silent struggle. Every night your heart whispered, "God, and I just need you to speak." And so I'm speaking now. You are not alone. You have never been alone. You will not face this next part of your life alone. I know the fear you don't admit. I know the exhaustion you don't explain. I know the questions that keep returning when the world goes quiet. And I tell you this with all authority of heaven. I am with you in the pressure. I am with you in the uncertainty. I am with you in the change that is coming. My presence is not far. It is wrapped around your spirit right now, filling the places that felt empty moments ago. Let your heart rest. Let your shoulders release. Let your soul breathe again, because I am here and I am not leaving. There is something I want you to do, not for me, but for your own spirit. A declaration that shifts the atmosphere around your life. Write this. Jesus, I choose faith over fear. Why? Because when you declare it, heaven aligns with your courage. The chains that fear tried to tighten begin to loosen. Your heart steps into alignment with my presence. Your future becomes clearer. Your spirit becomes stronger. This is not just a comment, it is your first step into the breakthrough that is already forming around you. So write it. Let eternity hear you. Let fear lose its hold. Let faith rise again. You keep wondering why everything around you feels so silent. And I need you to understand something sacred. I am standing inside that silence with you. You've been carrying thoughts that feel too heavy to explain, emotions that come and go like waves, questions that stay unanswered long after the world around you has gone still. And in those moments, when you look around and feel like nothing is moving, nothing is shifting, nothing is speaking, I am closer than the silence itself. I see the battle behind your calm face. I see the nights when you replay every worry in your mind. I see the moments when you ask, "God, do you really see me here?" Yes, I see you. Every second, every breath, every ache. And I'm not watching from afar. I am right here, in the very places you think are empty. You call it quiet, but from where I stand, it is holy ground. A space where your heart is still enough for me to reach the parts of you that noise could never touch. I know you wanted a loud answer. I know you hoped for a sign that would shake the room. But the strength you need right now is not born in thunder. It is born in stillness. In my presence resting gently on your soul. In the calm that begins to enter you without warning. In the peace you can't explain but suddenly feel. This quiet is not punishment. It is alignment. It is preparation. It is the place where your strength returns without you noticing. Even now I am softening the fears that hardened around your heart. I am loosening the tightness in your spirit. I am touching the thoughts that felt tangled. I am breathing peace into the room where you are listening. Let yourself feel me here. Let the quiet become a doorway, not a prison. Let the stillness become the proof that I am working beneath what your eyes can see. And listen to me carefully. You do not walk through this silence alone. You walk through it with me. And I am guiding you step by step, breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat. If this word is reaching you in the exact moment you needed it, then stay close. There is more I want to speak into your life, more peace I want to place inside you, more strength I am preparing to rebuild. So while you're here in my presence, let this be your next step of faith, not for routine, but so that every time your heart grows quiet again, you will have my voice waiting to meet you there. I am with you, in the quiet, in the wait, in every unseen moment, and I will not leave you. Come closer and listen, because the story you thought belonged to Joshua is speaking directly into your life right now. When Joshua stood at the edge of a future he didn't fully understand, he wasn't confident, he wasn't fearless, he wasn't ready in the way people imagine. His heart was trembling with the weight of responsibility, the pressure of stepping into something he felt too small for, the fear of failing the people who depended on him. And I want you to hear me. I saw every one of those fears. I see yours in the same way. Joshua didn't move forward because he was strong. He moved because I stood with him, right beside him, right within him, filling the spaces where his courage felt thin and unsteady. He didn't know what was waiting on the other side of the river. He didn't know how walls would fall, how battles would be won, how promises would unfold. All he had was my voice whispering, "I am with you wherever you go." And that is exactly what I am whispering to you now. You have been walking through days that feel uncertain, moments where you question your own strength, situations that look larger than your capacity, and responsibilities that weigh more heavily than people around you realize. But hear me. I am the same God who walked with Joshua. I am the same presence that steadied his trembling heart. I am the same strength that lifted him when he felt unqualified. You keep thinking you need to feel ready. You believe you must have every detail figured out. You imagine you need perfect clarity before you take the next step. But Joshua didn't begin with confidence. He began with obedience. He began with trust. He began with a fragile, imperfect courage that my presence turned into strength. And I am doing the same inside you. I am standing in the places where your confidence wavers. I am filling the gaps you fear will break. I am strengthening the parts of you that feel unprepared. What you see as uncertainty, I see as the doorway to your next miracle. What you see as pressure, I see as the ground where your faith is expanding. What you see as weakness, I see as the exact place where my power rests. Joshua walked forward not because the path was easy, but because I was there, steady, unchanging, unshaken. And now, child of my heart, I am standing with you in the same way. The story of Joshua is not distant history. It is a mirror, a reminder, a message for the very moment you are living. You are not stepping into your future alone. You are stepping into it with me, the God who leads, strengthens, protects, and walks beside you with the same unwavering presence that guided Joshua every step of the way. You've been worrying about what you cannot see yet, and I need you to breathe for a moment and listen to me carefully. I know the fear that rises when you look ahead, and the path feels uncertain. I know the quiet panic that touches your heart when you think about what might not be enough. Time, strength, resources, clarity, support. I know the weight of wondering how everything will come together, how you will stand, how you will move forward, how you will make it through the next part of your journey. But hear my voice. You will have what you need, not late, not lacking, not halfway. You will have exactly what is meant for you at the exact moment you need it. I am already ahead of you, arranging provision in places you haven't even reached yet. You're worrying about doors while I am shaping hallways. You're worrying about timing while I am aligning divine moments you cannot yet see. You're worrying about not having enough while I am preparing more than enough, quietly, precisely, purposefully. Provision is not only about what appears in your hands. Provision is also the strength I place inside you, the clarity that settles in your mind when panic loses its grip, the guidance that shows up like a gentle nudge in your spirit, the peace that interrupts your anxiety without warning. These are forms of my provision too, and they are already unfolding within you. You fear running out. You fear being unprepared. You fear reaching a moment where there is nothing left. But I do not lead you to empty places without preparing fullness on the other side. There are blessings being shaped behind curtains you cannot lift yet. There are answers forming in silence. There are opportunities moving toward you while you sleep. There are people whose hearts I am preparing to cross paths with yours. There is favor being positioned around your life in ways you will only recognize later. I know waiting feels like uncertainty, but waiting is often my most precise timing in motion. When the day comes, when the moment arrives, when the need stands before you, what you require will appear with the weight of divine accuracy, not rushed, not delayed, perfectly placed. Just as the manna appeared each morning for my people, just as the ram appeared on the mountain for Abraham, just as the oil multiplied for the widow. I am the God who provides at the exact moment provision is needed. And I am providing for you now, even in ways you cannot recognize yet. So do not fear the future. Do not stare at what looks empty. Do not let your heart imagine worst-case endings, for I am already in your tomorrow, and everything you will need, strength, direction, resources, peace, clarity, support, is being prepared with my own hands. You will not be left without what is essential for your journey. You will not arrive at any moment in your life unprepared. You will not face any season without my provision meeting you there. I am your provider, and I do not fail. There is someone I want to tell you about, not to compare you, but to comfort you. Her name is Lauren, and what happened inside her heart is speaking to you now. Lauren carried questions she never said out loud, questions that echoed through her mind late at night when the world went quiet and her thoughts grew louder. She wondered if she was falling behind, if she was disappointing me without noticing, if the confusion she felt meant she was doing something wrong. She tried to stay strong on the outside, smiling, working, pretending everything was under control. But inside, her heart was unraveling thread by thread. She prayed, but her words felt small. She hoped, but her hope felt thin. She waited, but she wondered how long her strength would last. And then, as in a moment she didn't plan, didn't predict, didn't script, she stopped running, she stopped explaining, she stopped trying to carry everything alone. She sat down, took a breath, and whispered through trembling lips, "Jesus, can you hold me if I can't hold myself?" And I did. The room didn't shake. The sky didn't open. No dramatic sound broke the air. But inside her heart, something shifted, quietly, softly, beautifully. I entered her fear like a gentle light. I rested my presence over her anxiety. I lifted the weight she'd been carrying for far too long, and the storm inside her began to loosen its grip. She didn't see the change all at once. It came slowly, like the first warmth of dawn touching a cold window, like the first deep breath after days of tension, like a hand she couldn't see holding the pieces of her heart together. What happened in Lauren wasn't dramatic. It was tender. It was holy. It was the beginning of her strength returning in a way she never expected. And I am telling you this because the same quiet restoration is reaching you now. You think surrender means losing control, but surrender is where I meet you most deeply. Surrender is where your strength begins to rise again. Surrender is where peace finally finds room to settle. If you feel like Lauren felt, tired beneath the surface, full of questions you don't know how to speak, carrying more than people around you realize, then hear me. I am ready to hold you with the same tenderness, the same patience, the same quiet power that healed her heart. And because this moment is sacred, if this part of Lauren's story touched something inside you, if you see yourself in her surrender, then let your heart speak. Write in the comments, "Jesus, I'm surrendering what I can't carry." Not as a performance, but as a release, a moment where heaven witnesses your honesty and your healing begins to unfold. I know the silence has been difficult for you. I know there are moments when the quiet feels louder than any storm you've ever faced, but listen to me with your whole heart. My silence has never been my rejection. My quiet has never been my absence, and the stillness you're living through is not my denial. There are seasons when your soul becomes so tender, so stretched, so raw, that even the smallest whisper from me can feel like too much. So instead of thunder, instead of fire, instead of signs written in the sky, I come to you in silence, not to distance myself, but to draw you deeper into a place where noise cannot follow. You keep asking, why can't I hear you? Why does everything feel paused? Why isn't there movement, something, anything? And I say to you, because I am shaping clarity inside you before I reveal clarity around you. If I answered too soon, you would settle for something smaller than what I am preparing. If I opened every door at once, you would walk through the wrong one. If I gave you everything you asked for when you asked for it, your heart would not be ready to carry the weight of the blessing. Silence is not inactivity. Silence is construction. Silence is the ground where deep roots form. Silence is where I work on the pieces of your soul that words could never reach. You do not see movement, but I am rearranging things inside you, fortifying your spirit, softening old wounds, bridging the divide between who you were and who you are becoming. The silence you fear is actually the cocoon of transformation. the place where faith stretches, where trust strengthens, where identity solidifies. And even when you don't hear me, I hear you. I hear the sighs you don't speak. I hear the questions you whisper behind closed doors. I hear the prayers you stopped praying out loud because you weren't sure they were reaching me. They reach me, every one of them, and I hold them with tenderness. I cradle them in my hands. I breathe over them with purpose. You think silence means I've stepped away. But silence is often when I'm holding you the closest, because in quiet places, your heart becomes still enough to feel the shift, to sense the turning, to notice the gentle movement of my presence. Just like seeds break open underground where no one can see, your breakthrough is forming in a place hidden from your sight, and when the moment is right, what I've been preparing behind the silence will rise with strength and clarity. So do not fear this quiet season. Do not assume abandonment. Do not interpret stillness as lack of care, for I am here, working, building, shaping, strengthening, and preparing an answer that will come with a weight your spirit will recognize immediately as mine. The silence is not a denial. It is the sacred beginning of your unfolding. I see the weight you've been carrying, the heaviness that sits in your chest, the pressure that lingers behind your thoughts, the emotions that rise before you even know how to name them. You have tried to push through, you have tried to stay strong, you have tried to keep going even when your soul feels tired. And I want you to hear me clearly. What feels heavy right now is not destroying you. It is becoming holy inside my hands. You think this burden is proof of weakness. You think it means you're failing, breaking, collapsing under the pressure. But the truth is deeper, softer, more sacred. You are being reshaped, refined, strengthened in ways you cannot see yet. Sometimes the weight you carry is not meant to crush you. It is meant to carve you. It forms space inside you for wisdom, compassion, patience, and depth. It opens rooms in your heart where my presence can rest more fully. It breaks old patterns, shakes loose old fears, and brings hidden wounds to the surface so they can finally be healed. You ask me, why does this feel so heavy? And I answer you, because I am teaching your heart how to hold more of my strength. I am stretching your faith gently, teaching you endurance, not through punishment, but through presence, growing you quietly in the places where your spirit once felt fragile. What you feel as heaviness is actually the sacred transformation of your inner life. It is the moment before breakthrough, the pressure before new growth, the deepening before revelation. Think of gold refined in fire. It does not shine without heat. Think of seeds breaking beneath the soil. They cannot rise without pressure. Think of mountains shaped by time. They do not form without weight. Your heart is undergoing the same holy process. There are parts of you being strengthened that you didn't know were weak. There are wounds being healed that you didn't know were open. There is resilience forming that you didn't know you carried. There is purpose awakening that you didn't know was sleeping. And while you feel the weight, I feel the becoming. I see the future version of you, steady, peaceful, clear, grounded, whole. I see the strength growing beneath your weakness, the courage forming beneath your fear, the faith rising beneath your uncertainty. You do not need to pretend you are strong. You do not need to hide your tears. You do not need to carry everything alone. I am here, lifting what you cannot lift, breathing where you cannot breathe, standing where you feel you cannot stand. And listen closely. This heaviness will not last. It is a season, not your identity. A chapter, not your story. A threshold, not your end. What feels heavy now is already becoming holy. And soon you will look back and see that the very weight that frightened you was the weight that shaped you into the person you were always meant to become. Listen to me closely, because there is a fear you've been carrying quietly. A fear you rarely speak out loud but feel deep in your chest. The fear of losing what matters, losing what you've waited for, losing what you hoped I was preparing for you. You have been watching your life with caution, almost afraid to breathe too deeply in case something slips out of your hands. You've wondered if time, circumstances, people, or even your own mistakes could steal what I promised you. You've questioned whether blessings can be missed, destiny can be delayed, purpose can be taken, or doors can close before you ever reach them. So hear me with absolute clarity. You will not lose what I have assigned to you. What is meant for you is not fragile. It is not hanging by a thread. It is not in danger of slipping away. It is not dependent on perfect timing from you, perfect decisions from others, or perfect conditions in your surroundings. What I have written over your life is held in my hands, not yours, and my hands do not tremble. There is no force powerful enough to steal what I have established, no mistake deep enough to undo what I have woven into your future, no delay long enough to cancel what I have prepared, no enemy strong enough to intercept what belongs to you. You see disruptions, detours, and sudden changes and assume they threaten your future. But I see them as alignment. I see them as redirection. I see them as protection. Sometimes I remove what you thought you needed to make space for what will truly bless you. Sometimes I close doors because I know what is behind them would harm you. Sometimes I rearrange your path because the timing needs to be perfect for the promise to unfold the way I intended. Nothing is slipping away from you. Nothing is being lost. Nothing is falling apart without purpose. Even the things that left your life were not capable of carrying the weight of your destiny. You worry you're too late, but destiny doesn't run on your clock. You fear you missed your moment, but moments shaped by my voice do not disappear. You think someone else took what was yours, Gyu, but no one can occupy a place I reserved for you. The assignment over your life was crafted with intention, precision, and eternal design. It is not fragile. It is not temporary. It is not vulnerable to circumstances. What is for you will find you. What belongs to you will stay with you. What is aligned with you will rise in the right time. What I planned for you will unfold with a strength nothing can interrupt. Trust the process you cannot yet see. Trust the timing that feels unfamiliar. Trust the doors that open slowly and the ones that close quickly. Everything I have assigned to you is protected by my presence and carried by my promise. You will not lose it. You will grow into it. There are things happening in your life right now that do not make sense to you. You are standing in a season filled with pieces, fragmented moments, unfinished answers, and emotions you don't know how to place. And you've been asking me, why this? Why now? Why like this? I hear every question. I feel the tension behind your thoughts. I see the way you try to stay steady, even when your heart feels like it's stretching in opposite directions. And I want you to know something that will bring peace into your spirit. Understanding will come later. Clarity will unfold at the right moment. Meaning will rise after the dust settles. You're trying to interpret a story while you're still inside the middle chapter. You're trying to define a season that is still being written. You're trying to make sense of movement that has not yet completed its purpose. And I say lovingly, you don't need to understand everything now. You just need to walk with me through it. There are moments when explanation would harm you more than help you. Moments when knowing too much would overwhelm your heart. Moments when clarity given too soon would cause you to run ahead of the timing I'm preparing. So instead of answers, I'm giving you alignment. Instead of explanations, I'm giving you stability. Instead of full understanding, I'm giving you the next step. One moment at a time, one breath at a time. One gentle move of my presence inside you. You're not lost. You're not off track. You're not being forgotten or overlooked. You are being formed. There is purpose in what feels confusing. There is growth in what feels uncomfortable. There is direction in what feels uncertain. There is transformation in what feels slow. You don't see the full picture, but I do. I see where this is leading. I see what this season is preparing you for. I see the blessings, breakthroughs, and doors that require the exact version of you that is being shaped right now. Later, you will look back and say, now I understand why it had to happen this way. You'll see connections you couldn't have imagined. You'll recognize protection you didn't know you were receiving. You'll thank me for the not yet that saved you from lesser things. And because this moment is sacred, because something in these words is touching the part of you that's been searching for peace, I want you to mark it with honesty. Write in the comments, Jesus, I trust you, even when I don't understand. This is your declaration, your alignment, your way of stepping into the clarity that will unfold in its perfect time. Understanding will come, and when it does, it will come gently, beautifully, and right on time. I know you've been feeling drained, not just physically, but deep in your spirit. A kind of weariness that doesn't go away with sleep. A heaviness that doesn't lift just because the day changes. You've wondered if you would ever feel like yourself again, if strength would ever rise in you the way it once did, and I need you to hear this with tenderness and truth. Your strength is quietly returning, not loudly, not suddenly, but steadily, gently, faithfully, like sunrise spreading across a dark horizon. You may not notice it yet, but something inside you has already begun to heal. The pressure that once overwhelmed you is starting to loosen. The fear that once gripped your thoughts is fading. The confusion that once clouded your vision is clearing. You are not the same person you were a few weeks ago. Your soul has been strengthening in ways hidden even from you. Strength does not always return with a roar. Sometimes it returns like a soft breath, a quiet reassurance, a moment where your heart suddenly feels lighter for reasons you can't explain. There have been mornings when you woke up with a little more peace, afternoons when the anxiety didn't feel as sharp, nights when your thoughts slowed enough for you to breathe. These moments didn't happen by accident. I was there, healing you layer by layer. You thought you were standing still, but in the unseen places of your soul, I have been rebuilding you. I've been stitching together the parts of your heart that life tried to tear apart. I've been lifting the weight you tried to carry alone. I've been restoring the energy you thought was gone forever. I've been breathing new strength into the deepest parts of you, strength that doesn't depend on circumstances, strength that comes from my presence resting quietly within you. You've noticed small shifts, subtle changes, moments where hope flickers even when you're not trying to find it. These are signs of the renewal happening inside you. The tears you cried in private watered the ground of your healing. The prayers you whispered with trembling faith reached me. The moments you felt weak were the very moments I was holding you the closest. And now, slowly, beautifully, intentionally, you are rising again. Not because you forced yourself, not because you pretended to be strong, not because you ignored your pain, but because I have been restoring you from within. Your strength is not returning to match your past, but to prepare you for your future. A deeper strength, a wiser strength, a steadier strength. There will come a moment when you look back at this season and realize just how much you've grown, how much you've healed, how much stronger you truly are. And when that moment comes, you will understand. My presence has been carrying you, renewing you, and quietly rebuilding the strength that is now rising in your spirit. Your strength is returning, and soon you will walk with a confidence that can only come from what I have restored inside you. There is something sacred approaching you, so gentle, so quiet, so full of my presence that only a still heart will be able to recognize it. I am preparing to whisper to your spirit, not through noise, not through chaos, but through a soft, unmistakable touch of my voice inside you. You've been waiting for clarity, longing for direction, hoping for a sign strong enough to silence your doubts. And while you expected my answer to arrive loudly, I am choosing to speak in a way that reaches deeper than sound. I whisper because whispers are heard closest. I whisper because my voice does not need volume to carry power. I whisper because I want your heart to lean in, to slow down, to breathe, to recognize that my presence is not distant. It is near, nearer than your fears, nearer than your worries, nearer than the thoughts that trouble you in the quiet hours of the night. You've been searching outside yourself for the next step, for direction, for reassurance. But the voice you need is approaching from within, from the place where my spirit rests in you, guiding you from the inside outward. There are moments when the whisper will come as a sudden peace, settling over you like a warm light. There will be moments when the whisper feels like clarity, a thought you know you could not have formed on your own. Moments when the whisper feels like comfort, the easing of a worry you carried for too long. Moments when the whisper feels like strength, a courage that rises without explanation. This whisper will not be accidental, it will not be vague, it will not be confusing. It will come with a weight your spirit recognizes as my truth touching your heart. You may be afraid that you will miss it, that you will overlook it, that your mind is too clouded to hear me, but I will speak in a way that reaches exactly where you are. I know how to speak to you. I know how to reach you. I know how to guide you in a way that feels like it was crafted only for your heart. There are shifts happening in the unseen, doors aligning, paths clearing, burdens lifting, and your heart is slowly being prepared to receive what I have been forming behind the scenes. Do not fear the quiet. It is the doorway for my whisper. Do not fear the waiting. It is the timing of my guidance. Do not fear missing my voice, because the whisper I am sending is meant specifically for you. Soon, your spirit will feel something soften, a moment of recognition, a turning within, a stillness that carries my presence. And in that moment, you will know, this is Jesus speaking to my heart. The whisper is coming, and it carries peace, direction, hope, and the next step for your journey. Be still long enough to feel it, because I am already closer than the silence surrounding you. And now, come close, because I need you to feel something deeply. I have walked with you through every word you heard, every truth that settled in your spirit. Every moment your heart recognized my voice. You've carried heaviness, questions, silence, waiting, fear, and fragile faith. Yet here you are, still listening, still open, still reaching for me, even when you didn't have the strength to name what you felt. And I want you to know, I am proud of you. Not because you were perfect, not because you understood everything, not because you never struggled, but because you kept coming to me, because you let my presence enter the places that once felt unreachable, because you allowed my words to touch the very areas you tried to hold together on your own. You made it to this moment, and this moment is holy. So let this truth settle over you like a soft, steady light. I am with you, I am for you, and you will have what you need. Not by accident, not by luck, but because I myself am guiding you into the future I have prepared. And now, as your heart stands open and tender before me, let me take you into a prayer. Not a distant prayer, not a formal prayer, but a prayer where you and I breathe in the same rhythm. Close your eyes with me, and let your soul be still. Child of my heart, I speak peace over you now. A peace that settles deeper than your fear. A peace that reaches places your own thoughts could never touch. I breathe strength into your spirit, strength to stand, strength to heal, strength to rise again without fear of falling. I surround you with clarity, not all at once, but in the exact moments you need it. I pour light into the corners where shadows once lived. I break the power of anxiety that tried to steal your breath. I soften the memories that still carry weight. I lift every burden you were never meant to carry alone, and I speak this blessing over your future. You will not miss what I have prepared. You will not lose what is yours. You will not walk alone into any chapter of your life. My presence goes before you, my hand rests upon you, and my love holds you with a strength nothing can undo. Take a deep breath, because you are safe in me. Amen. And as this peace settles over you, if my voice reached your heart today, then let your next steps be simple and filled with faith. Leave a like as a way of saying, Jesus, I receive this word. Subscribe to this channel, so every time your spirit needs my voice, I can meet you again. Comment below writing, Jesus, I'm walking with you. Let heaven witness your declaration. And now, and while my presence is still resting on you, watch the video appearing on your screen, because the next word I have for you continues there. I am here. I am with you, and I am not finished speaking to your heart.